Listen, filming UGC at home does not have to be complicated. Hey y'all, welcome back to my UGC Unleashed series where I help you break into user-generated content and get paid. Today, I'm sharing with you my simple setup and my go-to tools and products that I use to create high-quality, engaging UGC content for brands. If you leave with nothing else, remember that expensive equipment is not necessary. Honestly, it's all about lighting, storytelling, and angles. Now, if you're excited to learn more, go ahead and like this video, comment, and subscribe, share it with your friends and family, and let's get right into it. All right, let's talk essential UGC filming equipment. We're going to start off with your camera. I currently film all of my UGC on my iPhone 13 Pro Max. Now, you don't need the newest iPhone. You don't need the newest camera. As long as your device is able to take decent video and photo content, you are all set and ready to go. What's really going to be important though is your settings, as well as whether or not you decide you are going to be filming handheld shots versus tripod shots. Now, let me explain just a little bit. When I'm referring to a handheld shot, it's exactly what it sounds like. You picking up your phone and clicking record and recording either yourself or the product. I recommend every UGC creator have their tried and true tripod. And I'm not saying it needs to be super expensive, super high tech. I just recently upgraded my tripod that I've had for years because I just felt like it was time. It met my needs. But there are plenty of affordable and really great quality tripods on Amazon and even TikTok Shop. So definitely take a look into that. I will link the ones I personally use for my UGC business. Next up is lighting, natural light versus a ring light. Here's the thing. Natural lighting is going to be your best bet, your best option, okay? Whenever you can, you want to use natural lighting. And then you don't really have to worry too much about glare from a ring light and all of that. But sometimes a ring light really does come in handy, especially when days are more overcast, or maybe you're filming at nighttime and it's a nighttime scene, but you want to brighten up the space. Then an additional light like a ring light or a clip-on light, a selfie light is ideal. But I just want to reiterate that natural lighting is going to be your best friend. And when I say natural lighting, I just mean the sun. Standing in front of a window in your home or a really sunny area in your home to film. If you know in the mornings the sun is coming in through your kitchen, that's likely going to be where you film a lot of your content. Or if you don't start filming your UGC content until later in the afternoon after you've finished your 9 to 5 and the sun is setting in your living room, maybe that's where you're going to be filming the majority of your content because that's where the best lighting is. Follow the light. Something else to keep in mind when talking about lighting is the position of your lighting. You want to make sure that the light is always facing you or facing the product. What you want to avoid is the light hitting you from the side or from behind. That's just going to cast shadows on yourself or on the product that you're shooting, and that doesn't look very aesthetically pleasing at all. So you want to make sure that the light is positioned in front of you, whether that be natural sunlight or a ring light or selfie light. And then the last piece of essential UGC filming equipment I'm going to mention in this section is audio. When you think audio, you think sound. You want everything in this video to be high quality, from what people are seeing to what people are hearing. Now, when it comes to audio, you have the choice of using whatever internal mic you have on your phone, your device, your camera, or purchasing and using an external mic. So a little mini mic or a lavalier mic that you clip onto your shirt. Both are really great options. It's just knowing when to use one over the other. External mics are perfect for when you're maybe in a windy situation, you're filming outside and there's a bunch of background noise that you can't control. Or maybe you're filming at home and it's very busy, there's a bunch of people around, a baby's crying in the background. An external mic is perfect for that situation as well. But when you're home alone or you're in a controlled, quiet environment, you don't necessarily need an additional mic. What your device has within its software is usually fine enough. Now, if you stay tuned, I'm going to give you a hack for enhancing your audio when you're just using your phone or your device. So stay tuned for that. Now, here are a few tips for filming quality UGC. Don't forget to wipe off your cameras, y'all. The very first step when filming any video, whether that be for UGC or your personal brand, wipe off that camera. Your phone has been sitting on surfaces in your pocket. You've been touching it. 9 times out of 10, your camera is dirty. That should be the very first thing you do before setting up your phone to hit record to film. Trust me, you'll thank me later. I can't tell y'all how many times I've neglected to make that my first step and instantly regretted it when I was reviewing the footage because I'm thinking to myself, I'm filming at 1080p, 30 frames per second. It should be clear, but why does my face look foggy or why does the product look off? It's because there's a bunch of smudges on my camera and it was not wiped off before I started. So get into the habit of making that the first thing you do. Wipe off your camera. If you're someone who wears glasses, you're in luck because I'm sure you have a bunch of those cloth wipes just hanging around. Use those to wipe off your camera's lens each and every single time. First up is framing and angles. When you're filming, most of your content is going to be 9:16 or vertical. So perfect for YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels, TikTok, etc. Most of the brands that are going to be approaching you are looking for content for those platforms. So you want to make sure the content that you're filming is filmed with that in mind. Another filming tip, make sure your content is engaging, not just with how you sound, but how you're recording. Providing your viewer with multiple angles, not just talking to the camera or showing the product in one way. Do a couple of close up, do a couple of further away, do some from the side. We are creatures who like visual things and we also have short attention spans. So you want to keep the content fast paced, engaging with multiple different angles so that we don't get bored or the viewer or brand doesn't get bored with your content. And to make your content feel more authentic, show real reactions with the product. Don't just show the product in your hand with no facial expression or anything. Show your real life reaction to the product. If it makes you feel relaxed, show that through the screen. If it makes you laugh, show that through the screen. People want to feel like they're connected to the people using the products, and that's what UGC is all about. Another way to make your content more engaging is better B-roll. And all B-roll is additional footage that helps set the scene, provide context to whatever it is that you're creating. So let's say you are creating a video for this cup. Now, the obvious shot is going to be of me sipping from the cup, me picking it up, maybe me pouring something into the cup. Some other non-obvious shots are me taking this cup to the gym or showcasing how it fits inside my cup holder. Those are all examples of B-roll. You want to provide multiple situations of the product, of whatever you're speaking about, and we're just using this cup for example, but you can use that across anything else. You want to provide as many situations or as many environments or scenes as you can because that's going to help keep your video engaging. It's going to allow the consumer to see how the product might be used or how it might fit in their own day-to-day lives. So we've gotten through equipment, we've gotten through filming. Now let's talk editing your content. First, I want to start off with some recommendations for some apps that are free and beginner friendly. We have CapCut, InShot, and VN Editor. Now, each of these have a paid component to them, but all of them have a free option. Now, for those of y'all who might just be a little bit more advanced or enjoy color grading and all of the nitty gritty that comes with video editing, here are two more options for you: Adobe Premiere Rush and Final Cut Pro. Now, if you're wondering, okay, Tasha, well, how do I edit this video? Here's a very basic editing workflow to follow. First, you're going to want to remove all of the unnecessary pauses in your video. Any gaps, any any filler words, you want to remove those because they detract from the quality of your video. Next, you're going to want to make any adjustments to your audio. Now, if you're using CapCut, here's the hack that I mentioned earlier. First, you'll open up the app, then select the clip you want to adjust and select Enhance Voice. Then you're going to swipe all the way down and also select Reduce Noise. These two tools are perfect for when you're not using an external mic Or maybe you are, but you're still hearing some background noise or feedback, or maybe you have your AC running in the background and you hear that. These two will knock that noise out of your video and really have the audio crisp and clear. After adjusting your audio, you're also going to want to adjust things like your brightness, your highlights, your saturation to give your video a much more polished look. I just find that it provides a higher quality video and it just looks cleaner and more polished. And then lastly, you're also going to want to include any additional overlay text to your video. So whether that be a check mark, or you have visit the website today or download today on your video, you want to include those as well with any transitions or animations that you'd like to include on any of the editing platforms that you're using. Now, that's just a few things that you can accomplish within your workflow. There are certainly many others. If you want to go into the weeds of video editing, maybe I'll create a different video for that. But I just want to give y'all some of the just basic steps to create a really good video. And while you're editing, something to keep in mind always is pacing. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean is how fast or how slow your video is. Keep in mind, and remember I said this earlier, we do not have great attention spans. So you want to keep a person's attention, and you do that by having good pacing to your videos. And what I stated earlier, removing the ums, the filler words, the pauses, all of that is going to help create a more engaging video because your video is going to flow better and smoother. Keeping that in mind, keep your video short. You do not need a lengthy video. With user-generated content, the sweet zone is anywhere from 15 seconds to 45 seconds if you want a really punchy, engaging video. And yes, I know that sounds like a limited amount of time. It is. So you have to focus on what it is you want your video to be. You need to be not only quick in your speaking, you want your video to have nice flow. So including the B-roll, including the audio, any additional overlays. All of that comes into play, and all of that has to fit within that 15 to 45 second mark. The 15 to 45 second range is ideal, but it's not the end all be all. Of course, at the end of the day, it depends on what the brand desires. Finally, let's talk final touches and exporting your videos. No matter the platform that you're using, you do not want to be filming in 4K. Unless you have unlimited storage on your phone, 4K at 60 frames per second or FPS is not what you need to be filming at on a consistent basis. You can get high quality video without using settings that take up the most space on your phone. For me personally, I am constantly running out of storage. And what I have found that really helps with that is filming at 1080p at 30 or 60 frames per second. Because you have to keep in mind, y'all, when you upload your videos to platforms like Canva, Instagram, TikTok, anywhere, it gets compressed. So the file size shrinks down. So that 4K video at 60 frames per second that you just filmed and edited and exported, when you upload it to Instagram, it's no longer 4K. So why not start where it is the most compatible, and that is 1080p. For the most part, I am filming at 1080p at 30 to 60 frames per second, and my videos are still crisp and clear. When you think about delivering that footage that you just exported to these brands, if you're not using a platform like Fiverr or Upwork, you're probably going to need a Google Drive, a Dropbox account, or a WeTransfer account to be able to transfer these files to these brands without compromising quality. Because when you email things, that's another opportunity for the files to get compressed and lose their quality. I personally both use Google Drive and Dropbox because I love the functionality of Drive for all my documents, my business documents, my contracts, storyboarding, and then I put all of my video content into a Dropbox account. I hope that answers a lot of your questions when it comes to getting started with UGC and how you can film, export, and edit better UGC videos. Focus on good lighting, clear audio, and natural delivery, and you'll be set. As always, thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch y'all in my next video.